Reduce is a good keyword. Many of us often sit at work for up to 8 hours a day. The result is back pain some, then try to sit less and also to stand when working. But even that causes pain in the musculoskeletal system. After 2 hours at the latest, a doctor now believes to have found the solution he recommends us to surf. What is hidden behind it has looked at orcas. Children who don't go to school yet have it all by themselves assume the right posture. They squat down why we lose that later, and why most of us sooner or later have problems with our musculoskeletal system. Orthopedist Christian Behrens explains himself as follows: we've all squatted. That means the primitive people still have that in the Asian region. You can see that a lot, and the muscles were still long. That means the hip flexor muscle was long, the back muscles were long, the muscles in the legs were also long, and now it would actually be good if we did that again in school, because this sitting, which we have been doing for the first time on chairs for 200 years, has led to this. That muscle shortening occurs. It would of course be ideal for the students if they never started sitting at all. Then the muscles would not shorten. It would be ideal if they simply stayed in a crouching position right from the start of school. But the reality is this. We spend at least 10 years sitting at school. On average, we often come up to 11 hours a day in the course of our lives, which we spend on chairs. The main problem with sitting isn't the immobility, that's what most people believe. It's simply that the problem is the calmness that you're sitting there. And that's why many believe that getting up and moving is the opposite of sitting down. But that's not the case. Of course it has advantages, but the real opposite of sitting is hip hyperextension. When we sit, our hips bend by about 90 degrees. When we stand, the muscle in this hip is longer, but it's not long enough to compensate for sitting. Which means the real opposite of sitting is hyperextension hip is affected, so our hip flexor consists of several muscles that run from the front of the hip to the back of the spine. Due to a lot of sitting, it is shortened and tense.
Unser Hüftbeuger. Besteht aus mehreren Muskeln, die von der Vorderseite der Hüfte bis zur Rückseite der Wirbelsäule verlaufen. Durch das viele Sitzen ist verkürzt und verspannt.
And that can lead to pain in many parts of the body. By stretching the muscle accordingly, it can relax again. But you have to stretch very intensively and for a long time. Hardly anyone can do that in everyday life, that stretching their hip flexor muscles for an hour and a half. Does us sitting for 8 hours obviously has to stretch again in the same way. Nobody does that. Of course, I have developed a solution for that, and it looks like this: a chair. No, an accident.
Und die sieht so aus. Ein Stuhl, nein, ein Sturfer, so nennt
Christian Behrens his invention, which he also patented.
patentieren hat lassen.
Is that an art name comes from sitting, standing and surfing. We work on the internet and surfing, and that is actually the fourth dimension. Besides sitting, standing and moving, we have added a new additional working posture that may be added with the disruptor. The stretching should easily be part of everyday work. The Sturfer is not an office chair, but a solution to the problem of back pain that makes people flexible, who otherwise never actually have such mobility of their own accord. Would achieve. In this respect, it is a solution for me for those who are a bit lazy about exercise. I didn't want to do any exercises myself, and that's why I developed it for myself, that I moved my stretching exercises to my desk. And I think that's also an opportunity for many patients who have difficulties with exercises, that they have something where they simply have a relief to be able to do their exercises without having to exert themselves. The patients should approach the disturbing factor slowly at the beginning. The doctor recommends 3 minutes a day bread stretching position. This can be increased to 90 minutes or more a day. 50-year-old Ina Hofer has had a herniated disc for 12 years, but she doesn't want to have an operation. Daily physical training would help against the pain, but fails due to her consistency. Now she is trying it with the Sturfer. I've been using it for about 10 days now, and I've been doing it every day from 20 minutes at the beginning to now I've been in the Sturfer white market for about an hour and a half. So here I get off and feel completely different, exhilarated by stretching, and it seems to me that this load on the back, which is no longer as strong as it would be, the doctor is convinced that villagers can take one or the other pain pill.
Diese Belastung hinten auf dem Rücken, die ist nicht mehr so stark, wie es, wenn ich nicht surfen würde.
Der Arzt ist überzeugt, der Sturfer kann die eine oder andere Schmerztablette ersparen.
And many would not have any back pain at all if they surfed regularly. The main group of users will be the group that has a bit of back pain. That is the people who have always noticed a pinch, a push and pull. That's actually the group for them is most suitable because they actually get rid of their complaints completely. The device costs around 6,000 euros, for many probably not affordable. But you can also surf with simple means, simply a strap to the table, hip flexor and office chair.
Kann man auch mit einfachen Mitteln einfach einen Gurt um Tisch, Hüftbeuger und Bürostuhl schlingen.
Linger and let's go. We've already made friends. Unfortunately, works great. In any case, Ina Hofer would no longer want to be without her Sturfer position and can work in a relaxed manner on the computer.